use it so I could walk through walls to get Darkrai. And I was like, and they were like, yeah, there's this special Pokemon called Darkrai that you can get, and you have to use a cheat for it. And this was before, I think, what do they call it now? They call it the Void thing or whatever, the Void glitch. I think this was before that was discovered, or it wasn't as well known. It's probably more so this, like, the actual thing about it. Which was really funny because, like, I literally just only did the walk through walls part, and I ended up going straight for the Darkrai thing. I think you're supposed to go to where you think you meet Cresselia, then you go with the walk through walls, you go straight left. No, you go straight right, sorry. You go straight right, and literally you just continue going straight. Don't even deviate from it, just keep going right. And you'll meet the island, and specifically where Darkrai is, and then you walk in, go to Darkrai, save it, sort of do a soft reset of your game, specifically so the cheat is now off, and then fight Darkrai. Because I think that's how, I ended up doing it. But I was like really happy though, because like I'm not even gonna like joke around though. Like I was really happy that I got that Darkrai. It's like one of those like sort of like it's like one of those Pokemon that's like you're it looks like you're not meant to have it. And this was before I even started like realizing that there is these events going on. Like the only time I've ever actually like got an event Pokemon was I think in Gen 6, I think Oraz? No, Oraz I missed all of them because I didn't realize I didn't know if there was a way to actually keep track of them. I think it was Gen 7 I think I kept track of them as good as I can, and then I think I missed a few because I wasn't paying attention when I should have for at least Pokemon like that. I just ended up giving up and looking for them. I don't really care. I know Sun and Moon, no, not Sun and Moon. I know Sword and Shield, I kept track of them as clearly as possible, but a lot of them are like movie distributions kind of thing, and they give you codes when you go to the movie kind of thing, and it's like, I can't do anything about that. And a lot of them are like item giveaways too, and I'm like, are they really worth it? I'm trying to think of everything else too. I think that's pretty much everything for the most part. Yeah, so sorry about rambling about that. It was actually kind of, that was back when I thought that, like, when my Pokemon's 10 levels higher than the other one, I should one-hit them no matter what. The good old times when you're so innocent in Pokemon. Yeah, I was an innocent Pokemon player back when I thought that, if my Pokemon was 10 levels higher, I would be able to one-hit everything, and then there was another thing as well, I can't remember. Oh yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about it though. But there was this really stupid thing that my cousin did, and I was like really pissed off about it. I'm probably not going to talk about it, but it was really dumb. And I think I did something. No, what was it? Actually, I'll give a brief explanation on it because we just fell asleep. Or Squirts fell asleep, so it's going to take a while. So pretty much, me and my cousin ended up wanting to, we ended up doing a trade, okay, a Pokemon trade. I think it was my diamond to his pearl, or was it diamond to diamond? Now that part I don't remember. So I ended up trading him a Snover because he really wanted it. I don't remember why, but he ended up giving me a Snover. Or I ended up giving him a Snover. And he gave me a Cranidos. Because I think he had one and I was like, oh, I want the Cranidos. So he ended up giving it to me. Or we ended up trading each other that. So I got a Snover. Or I got... No. I keep messing it up. I got the Cranidos and he got a Snover. Now, he was still towards the, I think, the middle of the game, or more towards the beginning half of the game, so he couldn't use the Snover. Actually, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember how far he was, actually. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, so we were playing for about a couple of hours. Since I was at the later half, I was farming off of, I think it was a route towards the 8th gym. There was one guy that was like fishing, and I think there was like I think the item was VS Seeker, I think, or whatever the VS Seeker thing was for the Gen 4 games, and I was pretty much just using that pretty much as the as a way of just training it. And I was able to get it to as a Rampardos. And right before I need to leave, because I need to go back home, of course, he tells me he wants the Pokemon back. And I went, really? He goes, yeah, I want it back, because it's my Pokemon. I'm pretty sure if Nintendo or Game Freak were to hear that, they'd be like, this is your family? Like, I understand that, like, you know, when you see that your Pokemon is getting stronger from somebody else, you're like, oh man, I wish I could have done that. Like, seriously, I got the Rampardos to, I think I got the Cranidos all the way up to, I think, 42 to being, like, oh, of course, evolving into Rampardos. Then it got to like level 42, and I was like, alright, I think it's time for me to leave. Then he's like, no, we need to trade. And I went, why? He goes, because I want my Rampardos back. And I went, oh, okay. And then he goes like, will you accept the trade? And I went, no. And then he gets his parents to go and end up interfering with this. So they tell me I have to trade. I have to give it back to him. So I go, okay. So I have to give him a level 40 Rampardos. He gives me a level 10 Clefairy. Doesn't really matter that the Snover I traded him was level 30. Or what, 32 or something like that. I'm just gonna go double check what the route was. Because what's the minimum it can be at? Because I'm just gonna say it's that. But pretty much, like, I ended up training that thing to be as strong as it was, and then I have to give it back. And he gives me an even weaker Mon. I was so angry. And he was telling, and so pretty much what he was telling me was that this Pokemon was really, really, like rare, and that there was only one per game, because it was a fossil Pokemon. I didn't know where to get Cranidos. So I think he ended up telling me how he got it. So I was able to go do it. He told me he got it from the underground. I'm pretty sure. I forget if he told me or not. I ended up finding out you can get it in the underground. So I ended up going into the underground. I found 3 skull fossils. So I found more than one. I didn't tell him that he was wrong. I just decided to keep it to myself. I found like, I think it was like, I know it was more than one. And I ended up getting my Rampardos again. But this time, I had to train all over again. And the thing is that I only have 2 cousins that play Pokemon. I barely ever got a chance to visit them. So, the fact that the one that I was visiting at that time decided to just completely abandon that sort of like family friendship kind of thing and just go, I want my Pokemon back. It's like, really, dude? You really want this Pokemon back? Not just say, hey, can you go into the underground? I would have been completely okay with this. Can you go to the underground, find that skull fossil, sort of, I don't want to say hatch, because that's not really how the fossil thing works. Revive the fossil, trade me the Cranidos so I get that boosted experience. No, I want the Rampardos. I want that thing you spent... How much time I spent on that? 2-3 hours, I think? It took a while, because the VS Secret didn't work all the time. It took a while for me. And that was back when I think I had Staraptor as my only mon to attack, too, so... I want to say about 2 hours. 2 hours to farm a level 20, using the XP share, mind you, to level 40. And I think Rampardos is pretty... I think Cranidos is pretty slow at leveling, too, so it was even bad. I was just so angry, and I went, I'm never trading with you again. Like, this is just really dumb. Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you do that to your family kind of thing? Like, oh, by the way, I want my Pokemon back. Like, I understand, like, that, but he knew I was training it. He was, like, pretty much right next to me for, like, half an hour. Maybe an hour kind of thing. Like, he was right next to me, seeing me train the thing. And right when it evolved, I told him, I'm like, I got it to evolve! And then... he ends up doing that, and it's like, really, dude? Really? I was so angry. And then I think I've never traded with him again. Then my other cousin's fine with anything that he trades, because... But then again, I never really did have any traded Pokemon. I think on... Was it Fire Red, I think? Or Leaf Green? No, I had Leaf Green before Fire Red. I think Leaf Green, I was trying to figure out how to get a Scizor and stuff like that, and then I think I kept finding those weird kind of posts online that says, like, you can catch it at this specific area. And I went, oh my god, cool. Then I go to that specific area, you can't find it there. And there was the whole me wanting to get my first Steelix thing as well, and I couldn't do it. Because, again, it's a traded Pokemon, and I barely ever saw my cousins, which were the only people that had it. And then I think my friends at around this point were mostly just, I think, people that were more so outside than indoors playing Pokemon kind of people, so it was more like I kind of had to suffer with not having to be able to trade Pokemon. And even if we, like, did have, like, sort of that one day that we were inside playing Pokemon, we didn't know there were trade evolutions. There was no in-game sort of system of telling us, like, oh yeah, to evolve Scyther to Scizor, you need to trade with Metal Coat. Or anything like that. There was no information of that. So it was more so that, like, sort of that time that it's like, okay, like, how are you supposed to get, like, you know, that trade evolution if you have nobody and all that kind of stuff, though? There is no way. And then by the time, I think... Was it Black and White? No, it wasn't Black and White. No, because Diamond and Pearl, I got my first DS. I do have a DSi, but I'm trying to remember when I got it. I think it was when Black and White came out, I think. because there was news online that said that the black and white games will only run on the DSi machines. The old DS Lites, they will not run on it. And then that was actually a hoax, because they do run on it, but it's similar to like Sun and Moon on the old 3DS and 2DS kind of thing, where they do run, they just take longer to render kind of thing, or longer to load. And I'm trying to... Yeah, because that's exactly what happened. Because I remember I played Pokemon White on my DSi XL. And I got one of those, like... I don't know, I thought they were pretty cool. I got, like, a Nerf case specifically for it, and it was pretty beefy. And it was an amazing case for it. And it was like pretty much like what it was like it had a plastic covering, and they just like had a plastic covering that covered the sort of like the DS system, and then they put like thick foam pretty much like all around that plastic. It was really good. I think I dropped it a couple